I'm showing you how to make a stovetop potpourri today. This one I like to call Christmas Day because it has so many of the elements of Christmas that I love so much. The ingredients you'll need for this potpourri is dehydrated oranges. You cut them about 1/4 of an inch and then dehydrate them until they're completely dry. Dehydrated cranberries, dry rosemary, pine cones, cinnamon sticks, and whole cloves. I like to start by going through my oranges and figuring out which ones I like best. Sometimes the inside will kind of be open like this one, or like this tends to be a little bit smaller on the back side because it's so much closer to the outside of the orange. The ones that are in the center of the orange tend to be some of the prettiest ones. So I'm going to set that one aside and use that for connecting to my jar. I like to start with a couple of pine cones. In this case, they're tiny pine cones, so I'll do 3 of them. And then I'll go ahead and switch over to an orange. These ones are going to be a little too big. They would be more ones that you would use for the outside for decorating. It'll still work for on the stove, but for inside here, you wouldn't want that. Okay, and so now those pine cones kind of hold up your orange, and then I'll put 2 of the cinnamon sticks in there too, and they'll be held up by the pine cones. And now if you look on this side, it's mostly brown. So what I want to do is slide in 1 of the rosemary sprigs on one side. That'll give it a little bit of green. And then I'll do a small handful, about 8 of the cranberries in that back side. Then I'll take some of the cloves, about 5 or 6 of them here, and drop them down in the front there. And you can see it's coming along quite nicely, but I do want more oranges in there because I want more of that smell. So now I'll drop another pine cone on this side so that it elevates that orange a little bit. I'll do a few more of the cranberries, another sprig of rosemary on this side here, and then I'll put my last orange right there. And so you can see we have the oranges as well as the red and the green and the pine cones, which do such a great job of holding everything up where you want it. And on top of everything else, this smells so good. Then you top it off with a lid and a ring. Now is when you want to go ahead and add your little orange here. I just use my scissors to create a tiny hole near the top. Pretty easy to do that. You can just go in a circle like I did right there. I then like to fold my twine in half and grab the loop side and feed that through the hole of the orange. And I'll put the 2 tails right in the middle of that loop. Before I get it cinched down completely, I'll add my cinnamon stick, and then it holds it nice and tightly against that. And they can add that to their stovetop potpourri when they do that as well, but it's a super cute tag for gifting. And then I just do a simple knot on the back. And it's a super cute, fun little gift to give to someone. The way to use these little guys is to add it to a pot of boiling water. And then you want to just kind of keep it at a simmer and continue to add water. It can last for anywhere from 5 to 6 days, just of course turned off at night when you're sleeping or anytime you leave the house. The other thing that you can do is you can add water to your crock pot, and then it will do a much slower simmer and be a little bit less maintenance.